Ubisoft has announced Ghost Recon Frontline. Now, the Ghost Recon franchise is beloved by many, and this series has decided to take it into the Battle Royale setting. Let's talk about the reaction to this new genre for the Ghost Recon franchise. And I want to ask a question. What is Ubisoft doing? Because the answer is actually money. It's always money. Before I get into it, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go up. So real quick, let's read the website. So Ghost Recon website, Ghost Recon Frontline has its website. It says, register now, sign up to be among the first to experience the free-to-play tactical action massive PvP shooter set in the Ghost Recon universe in future test phases. And then it says you can register for update. And here's the game overview of what this new game is going to be. It says, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Frontline is a free-to-play tactical action massive PvP shooter grounded in the renowned Ghost Recon universe. Ghost Recon Frontline features an advanced class system and large set of tactical support tools, allowing for complete freedom in strategic gameplay, with multiple ways to outsmart enemy teams and win every fight. They go on to say, on-bound tactical freedom, switch between different contractors, even in the heat of battle, shape the battlefield around you by calling in tactical reinforcements such as deadly auto turrets, smokescreen drones, and massive barricades. There is always more than one way to win, and it is entirely up to what kind of strategic approach you will take. Class-based squads team up with other players from all around the world and put together your perfect squad through a deep and impactful class system. Enjoy a tailored gameplay experience and bring your own tactical strategies to the field. And then Massive Battleground is the other point on the website. It says, discover Drakemore Island, an open world full of diverse environments at the heart of the conflict in Ghost Recon Frontline, consisting of multiple landmarks and distinct biomes from high mountains to ruthless arid lands and ever-changing weather conditions. Drakemore Island requires unyielding adaptation. So the reaction to this has been less than positive. Just hopping onto the YouTube video, which has 3.4 thousand likes and 11,000 dislikes, you quickly get a picture of the reaction to this latest reveal for yet another Tom Clancy game that has changed what the name Tom Clancy means. The top comment says, Ubisoft, this is from Late Night Gaming, Ubisoft, is there a microtransaction I can pay that will make you guys finally release an authentic single-player military espionage Tom Clancy game? Hector says, another franchise bites the dust. Some Ordinary Gamers says, can't believe this same company made bangers like Assassin's Creed 2. To Spearhead says, imagine being this out of touch with your audience. So why is this happening? Because we just had Tom Clancy XDefiant. Tom Clancy XDefiant is a free-to-play, fast-paced arena shooter that combines intense gunplay with personalized loadouts and specialized factions as teams of gunfighters called Defiance battle for domination, and it's very colorful. It is very not Tom Clancy whatsoever. It just feels like they took a bunch of Tom Clancy franchises and threw them together into a pool. And I forgot to write down Division Homeland, I believe it's called, but I believe it's sort of similar in vein, where free-to-play, etc., etc. So not that long ago, Ubisoft actually commented on this. If you'll remember, here's what they originally said. I pulled this off Eurogamer. It says, speaking with investors, Ubisoft financial boss Frederic Duguay, yeah, it's French, so I'm trying to say it correctly. I'm French and I can't say it right, whatever, said the company's focus on releasing 3 to 4 big budget games per year was no longer a proper indication of our value creation dynamics, or in normal speak, Ubisoft wanted its profits to grow by making even more money from other things. On Twitter, Ubisoft's Sean Lama clarified this did not mean free-to-play games would replace AAA games. Instead, it meant Ubisoft now saw free-to-play as an additional way to experience some of these IPs, with Call of Duty as a good example of the model. And then we get Ghost Recon, which is basically Call of Duty with a few other features to differentiate it in Ubisoft fashion. And honestly, it's potentially the closest to a Tom Clancy type game, because at least it's tactical in nature, where you can use your squad mates to figure out each battle. But that doesn't matter because everybody hates it. So looking a little further here, they clarified that statement. And here's what they said in an updated release later. And this was a few months back. Our intention is to deliver a diverse lineup of games that players will love across all platforms, a Ubisoft spokesperson said. We are excited to be investing more in free-to-play experiences. However, we want to clarify that this does not mean reducing our AAA offering. Our aim is to continue to deliver premium experiences to players such as Far Cry 6, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Riders Republic, and Skull and Bones, to name a few, while also expanding our free-to-play portfolio and strengthening our brands to reach even more players. What does strengthening their brands mean? Apparently, it means going free-to-play so that they can charge people for different hats they can wear as cosmetics. At least that's what I'm assuming. I'm being a little cynical. Riders Republic, the description on that one is the 5 main activities available in the game include mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, wingsuit flying, and rocket wingsuiting. And you'll remember, what was it? Steep, not that long ago. Steep's actually pretty fun. If you've played it, it's available now on Xbox Game Pass. I know because there was like a challenge last week on Microsoft Rewards to do it. So why is this happening? And the bottom line is it's money. So while myself and many others can say, I want more than anything for a new Splinter Cell game, I don't know that I want a Splinter Cell game under this current strategy of just monetizing everything as much as possible. A lot of these games are free to play because Ubisoft knows that they're going to make more money from like a battle pass or anything. And you know, while a lot of people out there are saying Halo needs a battle royale, Halo needs this and that, the reason a battle royale is so lucrative for these companies is because they're able to charge for things like cosmetics. The reason Fortnite is so astronomically successful is not only its gameplay, but its emotes and your ability to customize your character through these timed skins. It just drives a ton of revenue for Epic, and everybody else sees that and they want a piece of that pie. So we're seeing all these franchises go free to play and sort of jump in on the action. I think somebody who's done it quite well is Apex. Apex Legends is, you know, a team-based shooter. They sometimes do different modes and such, but I think Apex has done a really, really good job of allowing you to earn your other character unlocks. I mean, I don't think I've ever spent any money in Apex Legends that I can think of off the top of my head, and I've had a pretty good time with it. So whether you like it or not, I made a video 5 years ago that I said vote with your wallet. And unfortunately, even if you've never spent a dime in a store, if you're spending money in Fortnite, if you're spending money in any of these online stores, if you're spending money in the Destiny Eververse, if you don't think that these other companies are looking at spending habits and saying, oh, well, that model is very lucrative, we need to get in on that action, that's exactly what's happening. I said it 5 years ago. If you don't like these microtransactions like Mortal Kombat fatalities, if you don't like horse armor, if you don't like this stuff, you can't spend money on it. Like, you have to resist that temptation. But it's very easy to justify it, especially with a free-to-play game. Well, I haven't spent any money on this. Let me dump $60 into silver and then buy some cool cosmetics, especially in a game that you're going to spend thousands of hours in. The problem is that these companies, they see that behavior, and like an emote in the Destiny Eververse store makes so much money for Bungie. And that goes for, like, imagine how much the Venom and Carnage skins made for Fortnite. If you don't think that Ubisoft is looking at that and saying to themselves and their investors, hey, we need to figure out ways to get in on this action, this is how they're trying to do that. Now, I think XDefiant, I think there's a better way for them to do it. I actually think out of Riders Republic and XDefiant, I think Ghost Recon Frontline is probably one of the better implementations of this idea. Time will tell if the gameplay is actually good. But I think the clear negative reaction from the community, 3.4 thousand likes, 11,000 dislikes, Ubisoft is just, the timing of these announcements is so poor because right now everybody just wants a core Tom Clancy game. We want, like, Rainbow Six is an established franchise that I adore, and right now what are they trying to do? They're trying to have us go fight demons or something like that. And a lot of people have talked about the Tom Clancy legacy. Some of my favorite Tom Clancy games are Tom Clancy Rainbow Six 3, Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Raven Shield. What's the other one that I really like? Oh, Splinter Cell. Duh. Splinter Cell is the one game that I've been really, really hoping to see something new in the series. Now, I was never a big Ghost Recon fan, but for me, what Ghost Recon was about was having military scenarios and figuring out how to solve those military scenarios with your squad. So that's why I think Frontline at least is attempting to keep a little bit of that heart, but it goes into battle royale, and everybody sees through the veil of what they're trying to do. It's like you want to make money, and I think that feels like it's not honoring the Tom Clancy name, to put it mildly, right? And I think that's why we see this negative reaction, especially after XDefiant. XDefiant feels like a slap in the face. It doesn't feel like Tom Clancy at all. And why associate that name with it if you're going to depart so far from the ideals of what a Tom Clancy game is supposed to be? And that's sort of my personal response to these reveals and why we're seeing such a negative backlash. Some of the games that I still like in the Ubisoft wheelhouse, I really like Far Cry, right? The previous, I believe it was Far Cry 5. We have Far Cry 6 coming right around the corner. I liked Far Cry 5. I felt the gameplay loop was really good. I didn't dive too much into the crafting mechanics, and it sounds like Far Cry 6 is going to run into that same challenge where, sure, you can do all this stuff, but do you have to, or can you just play the game? The added component to that is it seems like they're implementing the Assassin's Creed level everything up system, and that is causing a lot of fatigue. Well, guess what? Every video game these days is basically power up your whatever and then move forward into the story if you choose to. I think that's just something that people are starting to recognize and get fatigued by. So, especially with Ubisoft, because they're starting to copy paste a lot of these formulas across their franchises. So, things I love Ubisoft for, I actually really like Far Cry. I like Assassin's Creed. My favorite Assassin's Creed will always be Brotherhood. I feel like it wrapped up the Ezio story. There was some Altair story moments in that story that will always leave a special place in my heart. And honestly, Rainbow Six Siege, even with the strange stuff they're doing with the arena and the alien whatever, like, I'm not going to play that stuff. The core tactical aspects of Rainbow Six Siege in the game modes, it's still there. It's still really, really fun, and it's like easy to play, hard to master. What's the saying for poker? I can't remember. Yeah, it's there for those franchises. My hope is, and they did clarify that they're not going to move too far from AAA franchises, but I hope that this isn't the future for Ubisoft. Ubisoft has some beloved franchises. I hope, it's sort of weird. It's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because they have tried different stuff with the Assassin's Creed franchise, and it was met with backlash. So they're like, all right, well, we're just going to, Origins worked well, Odyssey worked well, and whatever the last one was called worked well, Valhalla, those were tremendously popular. So the message that they're getting is people want to buy microtransactions. People want these sort of level up sort of games. So that's the experiences they're delivering. And I think some of us are getting fatigued by it. Not myself. Well, I'm getting fatigued by the battle royales, honestly. And everybody thinking everything needs to be battle royale. I wonder if this sort of makes people question that assumption when people have such a negative reaction to Frontline. But yeah, so sort of a bit of a rambly video, but I wanted to talk about what is going on with Ubisoft, why this negative reaction, and why is it happening? It's happening because of money. It's that simple. If they see Bungie making hand over fist in their store, if they see like Halo's going to be free to play, and Halo Infinite's looking awesome, but they're going to monetize through their season passes, and that's going to be their monetization strategy. Fortnite is making money hand over fist. And when the industry sees something like that, investors are going to say, what's your solution to this problem to make sure that we're getting a return on our investment in your company? And there's our answer. It's Riders Republic. It's Tom Clancy's XDefiant. It's whatever they're doing with Division next. And, you know, there's rumors they're working on a Star Wars game and they have all these other franchises. But it is very concerning when all of their announcements have been free to play, money grab, like what feels like money grabbing, whether or not that's true. But that's what the feeling is from the community, right? Those are sort of my thoughts. I could probably just keep rambling about this for a while, but I'd like to hear what you think in the comments below. It is a little concerning that so many people are going to this, and some people are going to get it really, really wrong. And I'm wondering if I think XDefiant is one of those examples of I just don't think this is. You don't put the Tom Clancy name on a game like that. Do whatever you want in a game like that. Like, they need the marketing value, but that's not Tom Clancy anymore. It's something different, and people see right through it, right? Let me know what you think about this story. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go live. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this one. I don't just want to say my mouth words for the whole video. I want to hear from you. So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.